You need to already think about what pain they're probably going through and trying to bring that up in the phone call immediately and ask them what's the issue today, like what's not happening well. So I had a call with a client yesterday in a similar way, and he was like,
storm on a hurricane rock me. They feeling mad cause they know they can't stop me. I'm feeling good cause I know God got me.
What's going on? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the Weekflow. If you don't know what that is, I am taking you behind the scenes of my company Genflow, where we help social media influencers build their own brands. My name is Shan, I'm the CEO. And what you normally get to see in this video is basically some real stuff about what actually happens in a company. So if you're an entrepreneur, you work in a company, or you love business, building brands, anything remotely into that, into startups, you will find this really useful. We're not going to be lying on a beach, you know, we're not going to be saying you work 4 hours and everything just happens for you. You just put processes in place and, you know, magically everything will be amazing for you. It's hard work. That's what we talk about in the Weekflow. But anyway, in this week in particular, I'm going to be giving you a bit of a business update, what's been going on. We actually didn't do a video last week. This is episode number 29, but last week got too busy, real busy, that literally did not get a chance to film. My fault, I was working from home, we had a few shoots, there was just endless things. Not good enough though, I want to make sure that never happens again. But this is episode 29, you're gonna get a business update, then I'm gonna take you through how we're signing more and more clients, and hopefully from that you'll be able to take some things away for yourself. So I'm gonna sit down and go through that. You'll be hearing from some of the team. But anyway, hit that subscribe button, make sure you like this video, and let's get into it.
What do you think of this fabric? Have you had a feel?
I like that fabric. More like a cargo-y fabric.
Yeah, just a bit heavier.
Yeah.
So I'm researching new places for Genflow Studios coming in January or potentially December, but it's proving to be difficult as we're growing pretty rapidly. So finding a space that is big enough for us that we can make it our own is a struggle, but we'll get there.
What are you working on right now?
At the moment, the main priority is improving our analytics. So we already track the basic level of analytics, where people are clicking, where are they headed. So to build a good product, you obviously need to know how people are using your product, your digital product, an app, website, whatever. So we're focusing heavily on properly setting up our analytics so that all our digital products can be looked after properly.
Hi, I'm Chloe, I'm a Senior Brand Manager here at Genflow, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how we sign clients and the process that's behind that. The first thing we do is always have a call with a client or a meeting. We really want to understand their vision, we want to make sure that we're completely aligned in this, and that ultimately we can help them achieve their brand vision and make their dreams come true. So we'll have that meeting, and then we'll usually get on a call with either the product team or the dev team, and they can truly understand their vision and what's required of them as well. And then that's usually the most exciting bit, because we can get the clients super excited about what we can do for their brand and ultimately how we're going to build their business over the next few years. Then from that we'll go into contracting. Maybe that's a bit more of the boring bit, but super necessary. And then from that we'll have kickoff calls, internal meetings, we'll go into sampling, or we'll talk about the development process and really just start building it out from there.
So we're working on quite a few projects. We've got a few clients in hair care category, skincare category, and colour cosmetics. Oh, and also fine fragrance. So I'm currently just trying out some of our samples that we received. It's very exciting. So all the formulations that we develop for our clients are bespoke to each client. So we work on extremely custom formulations. We work together to develop the brief so that exactly how they want it, tailored specifically for them. So that first document that we write and say exactly what the product will feel like, what it would look like, the colours, the textures, the flavours, the fragrances, everything that goes into the product, really down to the finer detail. And then we work with our manufacturers across the globe to develop these products so we can find the perfect labs to develop the products for our clients. So my background's actually in the lab as a chemist. So I've worked in the industry for about 5 years formulating products. So with my lab coat and my hat and everything, really exciting.
Yeah.
So in that I can pick up a formula and know exactly what's in it, how to create it, how to develop it. So being able to work with our clients makes things easier, because I can communicate with them on what they actually want the product to be like, and I can communicate with the chemists in the labs to actually bring that vision to life. So it's very exciting.
So it's the next day, I'm here in the office. As I said, I'm gonna be giving you guys a bit of an update on the business. So I think one of the first things that we've been doing here at Genflow is with our existing clients, figuring out Q4. You know, Q4 is gonna be the biggest quarter this year, probably in history when it comes to e-commerce. So you gotta make sure you're fully prepped. You gotta know exactly when what needs to happen so you can make it at the most success. So we've been working quite heavily on that. Who is doing what, when, whatever, all the kind of stuff that if it needs to happen. A big shout out to the team for working on that. Besides that, what I've been up to here, I guess it's a new challenge for us that we have so many projects. I think it's more than 40 different brands to even launch new ones across like 8 different verticals. Even just saying that, hopefully, you know, it'll make you understand how hard that is. Some of you watching, you want to launch your brand, and that's one brand in one place with your first starting products. And you're probably going through that journey and how hard it is. Imagine that like times what we're dealing with. So with that comes a lot of natural complexities, even for myself to be able to get involved in certain things or not, which one I should, which one I shouldn't, which needs my time more, which doesn't. So I've been doing that, but besides that, I think the team also have been learning and maturing on how to deal with that, how to switch from like, you're working on this thing, now you're working on this thing, now you have a meeting, now you have this call, kind of like navigating all of that, making sure you're staying on track. So it's very important to have monthly goals, weekly goals, and all of that stuff. But yeah, that's what's been happening here. Obviously, we're making some of the structural changes in the company to make us more efficient. You know, one thing I've realized probably in the past few weeks is that we've started to lose efficiency as we've gone bigger, which is expected. So I've been sitting along thinking about like, how do I improve that? It is important to sit and think about how to do things better, or when things were working. I think one thing I've learned is that I used to think that as you become a bigger company, you're gonna obviously become more corporate. So, you know, you need more processes and all this, but in that, we actually lost the speed and the thing that actually made us really good, which was that we know what to do, we go and do it. Now it's like, we know what to do, yeah, we talk about it, we discuss it, this, like kind of figuring that out exactly. It's been something that I've been working on. But otherwise, yeah, business is good. You know, it's a big Q4 coming up, lots to do. So we're just working pretty much. There's nothing much else to report besides the fact that we're just working. I'm working on some of the investment stuff too, so that's going well. Hopefully some news to share in the coming months. But besides that, it's time to get back to work.
On every song in my catalog, building generation wealth till I'm in the morgue. My people want what they can't afford and wonder why.
What am I working on? Oh my gosh, what are we not working on? We're working on activewear brands, we're working on lifestyle brands, we're working on very exciting wellness app that's going to be launching next year. On talent management, we're working with this huge US girl. She's so cool, and talking about some potentially pretty big deals with her, as well as another girl in the US who's huge in the beauty department, and her content is just going from strength to strength. So very exciting week and super exciting things to come.
Hey, what's going on? It is Thursday in the office. I actually just finished off a call yesterday. I spent pretty much from 1 o'clock to like 6 o'clock non-stop on the phone, just like one thing after the other. It was so draining. Then I ended up doing some work last night. Back in the office, pretty much the same thing today. I've just finished off. Now we have a new client coming in. I'm gonna go and do that meeting, probably take about an hour and a half, then I have another phone call. I'm gonna be back in here. So yeah, things have been pretty hectic this week. And I guess one of the things I'm trying to learn, and this is for anyone who's also, I guess, really busy and trying to stay on top of things, pretty much in Slack is like not to like check things that don't involve you, because mentally you still keep seeing it. So yeah, any little thing for me I've been trying to do. Let's see if I can do it, just because I feel mentally there's way too many things happening at once basically. But yeah, anyway, let's do this meeting.
I used to have dreams that I buy chain. Nowadays I'm more impressed trying to start a chain. Follow one course to success, dog. Then you make all that money to reinvest.
All right, so let's get into what 3 things you can do to hopefully land yourself some more clients. Stuff that I've actually used myself in practice. You know, I would say most things I've learned is by doing things myself. And I would say it's one of the best ways to learn, because you need to realize your own skill of how you can get something done over than what you like read. So whatever I tell you now, listen to it, but then figure out how you can apply that to your business in your own way. So one of the number one things is that when you speak to a prospective client, don't talk about like what you have done, what your business can do, or what your agency can do. Instead, you should be saying, just start talking to them about their problem. Like, what is it? So if you have a client that's a brand and, you know, sells clothes, and you're an agency and you want to sell them your services, you need to already kind of think about what pain they're probably going through and trying to bring that up in the phone call immediately and ask them what's the issue today, like what's not happening well. So I had a call with a client yesterday in a similar way, and he was like, look, I currently have like this project. I don't like the way it's set up. I don't like the way it works. I have these issues. It's not doing the financial that it needs to. So immediately I'm like, okay. And then you got to start saying what you would do. I was like, cool, if I was to do it, I would firstly make this change, I would make this change, I would do this instead. Why have you decided to do this actually? I want to know. And they'll be like, they'll tell you. The reason is because in that you start showing how good you are, and that is the sell. You are selling through your knowledge what you actually know. People think like you need to have some, you need to have something to be able to get clients. There's a reason at Genflow I've managed to grow it, because I actually know what I'm doing. And I've learned that by trying and doing, that you start getting better and better, and so has my team. So when I could have a call with someone's financial advisors, and it's in so detail, and they're asking all sorts of questions, but I can handle myself and my team, and we can answer everything properly. Or if it's a lawyer or whatever, it's the same thing. That if you know the problems they're going to be asking, like where's the revenue from, whatever, and you can answer it properly. So I guess that's the biggest thing I would say that I've learned. If that's the first step, the second step is you got to follow up and then further emphasize just what you've said on a phone call or whatever that is. What I mean by that is by sending some material. So if that is some written document, a presentation or something that says, look, I've looked at all your stuff, this is what I would do, this is how I would do it. I would further send that in the second step of like how you should go ahead and how would I physically do it for you. Like you're breaking it down for them so they can physically see the value that you will add if they start working with you. Again, you can then reference, I've done some things in the past or whatever, but you don't start with this. Start with the actual meat of like, if I was to get involved with you, what I can do for you, how would I do it for you? So that is very clear to them. I think lastly would be is momentum. That I think in anything in the world, momentum is everything. So let's just say if you were to meet a guy or a girl and you start like speaking a lot, I'm sure if you want to message each other for like 2 weeks, nothing's gonna happen. You wouldn't probably become friends or whatever else. Momentum is everything. So even with the client that I was saying I spoke to yesterday, I messaged him last night and he's already messaged me this morning. It's that momentum. That means like they're interested. They realize the value and they want you now. So like you got to be on top of it. If I was to now be slow for 7 days, you might as well say goodbye. And people actually don't realize that, like that momentum and that connection. If you build a connection with someone on a personal, like if it's working, you're vibing off each other, you've got to go and get that deal signed. Until a deal is not signed, it's not done. That's another thing that I've learned as well, that people will mess you around, that you should be putting pressure on, answering everything and pushing towards getting the deal done as fast as possible. Once the deal is signed, the contract is signed, is when the deal is actually done. So that'll be my third thing. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. We won't be missing any more week flows after this. And next week we have a lot of things happening. So I think stay tuned. Next week's episode will be very, very cool. Anyway, I hope you like this video. As ever, comment below. Any questions, message me on Instagram. In the last week flow, I sat and answered some questions. So if you have any particular questions that you think will bring yourself value, anyone else value, let me know and I'll get them answered for you. But anyway, have a great week and I'll see you next time. Make sure you hit that subscribe and I'll see you next week.